everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am back already with another makeup tutorial. Today I'm going to show you my updated everyday makeup routine. A few people asked for this, so I'm happy to update it for you guys. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Let me know what other kind of makeup videos you want to see from me. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the first thing I always do is shave my eyebrows. So the truth is, I don't wear makeup every day, and I don't hardly ever wear makeup when I go out and about. So I just want to be clear about that. So I don't want this to be misleading or anything. But this is the routine that I use when I do wear makeup and I go out, and it does last. It does hold up. So, but I'll pop a picture up. This is what this routine looks like after a couple hours and some drinks. So yeah, it holds up. But I just want to be honest about that. For primer, I usually use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I use the pink one with niacinamide. Honestly, I don't know if there's a difference between the pink one and the green one. The pink one is supposed to be better for your skin though, so just in case it does do something, I like to use that one. But I'm out of that at the moment, so I am using the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer. This, I don't think they make this anymore. I don't know if you can get it, so they're basically exactly the same, so just pretend this is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer with niacinamide. I just use one pump of this because you really do not need any more than that. I have two base methods that I sort of flip-flop and go between. I've been debating on which one to show you because technically for the internet I do one, but then when I go out I do the other, so I'm not sure which one to show you, but I'll talk about both. The first one that I have been using recently, I use this every day for my videos. This is the KVD Good Apple Foundation in the shade Light 04. As you can see, I've actually hit pan on it recently, and I really like this stuff. It was sort of trial and error, but this is very lightweight but full coverage. The truth is, I haven't gone out in this, so I don't know how it holds up. What I do when I'm going out and I know I want my base to stay down for hours is I use two e.l.f. Camo Concealers. These are the two lightest shades, and I mix these together for a foundation. This lasts forever. This is my tried and true method. I always end up coming back to this. It's concealer, obviously, so it'll really dry down and it'll really stay there for hours and hours. So I guess since I'm talking so highly about it, I'll do this today. I'm pretty sure this is what I used in my first everyday makeup video. And just recently, this is a change. I have been using a brush to blend out my foundation. I got this from Lethal Cosmetics. It's from the Dexter collection. I have been obsessed with this. I use it literally every day. I'll start with the darker one, and the only thing about this method that's not so great is the fact that it's concealer, so it's kind of a small package, but I don't know, I think it's worth it. So I just do some dots. Like so. It's different every time. I never really know how much to put. I'll do some dots of the lighter one and just fill in, mainly in the places where you would want it to be a bit lighter. But it all gets mixed together anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Before I blend this out though, I put on lip balm, and that's to keep the product mostly off my lips because I can't stand the way it feels. I just use light tapping motions. Another thing about this is it's super full coverage because again, it's just concealer, so I really like that about it. And I think this is a pretty good shade match for me, and because I use two, I can really control the shade, so it's very versatile for the summer versus the winter. And I'm sorry if my voice is a little bit crazy in this video. I have been feeling a bit sick. My throat is kind of sore, so I kind of picked a bad time to film a video, but it's okay. Another perk about this is that it doesn't oxidize, which is obviously really good. I went through a phase of using foundation. Between my last video and this video, I was basically using a foundation that whole time, but I don't know, I just find myself coming back to this every time. So next I take the lightest concealer that I just used. I just use a tiny bit of this. You don't really need to go crazy, but I do it here, and then chin, nose, forehead, and then right here. And I'll let that sit for a second, and I'll get my powder. The powder that I use, this is my all-time favorite powder ever. I will be repurchasing this like until I die. It's the ColourPop No Filter Loose Translucent Setting Powder, and I love this stuff. I go through so much of it. So yeah, while I wait for this to set, I'll just go ahead and get my powder ready. Bam. So then I just blend out my concealer. Next is cream contour. For that I use the NYX Wonder Stick in the shade Fair. I am almost running out of this. This is my second one of these. I really like this. It's very cool toned, which I appreciate. I sort of have a problem with doing too much of this, so lately I've been trying to like cut it back. Just a bit right there. And there. I blend it out with the e.l.f. Sculpting Face Brush. I really like this for this purpose. I start blending with my forehead, and I'll just kind of take it down a bit. And once I get here, I start using like upward sort of pushing motions instead of dragging it down, because that will really drag down your whole face. So I go upwards with this. I also contour my nose with this, and I don't really show this in my TikToks anymore, so you're getting a treat here. Small lines right here from the eyebrow to about there. Then I'll do a small line on the top and on the bottom like that. When I blend it, I start right here and I will just blend it back and forth, like stopping right there. I'll very, very lightly go across like this. And then I'll do the underside as well, sort of curving it up and around to make a little circle. Nose contour is different for everybody, so you really just need to find out what works best for you. I have like sort of a round, sort of button nose, so that's why I do this little circle to accentuate that. But this might not work for everyone, so you just really need to find out what works for you. But yeah, and I think it's super cute. I've been doing this contour for like years and years and years. So lately I've been doing a bit of cream blush. I didn't used to be a fan of cream blush, but to be honest, my whole blush routine is like sort of changing, sort of evolving, so I'll show you what I do now. Catrice very kindly sent this to me. It is the Blush Affair Cream and Powder Palette in the shade Stunning Strawberry, and this is very stunning. Every time I do blush, I will use this as like a base layer for my blush. I take it on another Lethal Cosmetics brush from the Dexter collab. This is just like a fluffier but still dense brush. I just get like a little bit of this. This is very buildable, so I don't really worry about getting too much because it's pretty easy to shear it out. Right under my eye, sort of, that's where I like to do it. I like to really focus it right here and up even. So now we're to the powder. I'll just take the powder on a powder puff. This one's getting kind of gross, so don't look too closely, but I will just try to get like a thin layer on the puff, and then I start with my under eyes, and I really pack it on there, and I'll put this over my whole face. I don't care. I need to be matte. I absolutely cannot stand being like dewy or anything like that. I cannot handle it. Then I just wipe it off with this Real Techniques powder brush. It's just a powder brush. It's very fluffy. I've been using this brush for like ever. Another good thing about this powder is that it's truly translucent. Nothing is worse, at least for me, when the powder says it's translucent, but it's actually like turns a little bit pink or orange. That's no good for me because I use so much of it. If it's not truly translucent, it just changes everything, and it's terrible. Don't call your powders translucent if they're not translucent. Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I take it on a Wet n Wild little contouring brush. This is from the Dollar Tree. I will always recommend going to the Dollar Tree for brushes. These last forever. I have a ton of them. So I just do a little bit of this because I don't like to be too warm. And honestly, this is sort of unnecessary because of the amount of blush I put on. Like I said, I've been doing it a little bit different recently, so maybe this actually sort of matters. Bronzer goes like on top of the cheekbones of just right above your contour to warm it up. Contour is for sculpting. And then bronzer is for warming. For my nose contour, I use an actual contouring powder rather than a bronzer because it's more cool tone. So this is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in Dolce de Leche. I've been using this forever. I've repurchased this 1,000 times, mostly because I run out of this powder. So like, I wish they would like separate it or something because I have nose contour for life, but I just keep repurchasing them because I run out of the powder. So it's pretty inconvenient. Wet n Wild, do better. Like I said, I really like this. I even have a few Halloween versions. But yeah, I use like a really small, dense like packing brush for this. I just do the same thing that I did with the cream. So the reason that I run out of this powder is because I just take it on my finger and I put it right there and on my nose bridge to sort of like bake. I don't really know if it does anything, but I don't know, it's my routine. I like to do it. So I sort of like bake while I do my eyebrows. As you can tell, I don't really like to have too much eyebrow going on. I like to sort of make my eyebrows disappear. So I use the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade White, flat white corrector, okay? And I used to take this on a spoolie and brush it through my eyebrows, but I recently found that that's just totally not necessary. The applicator is already like sort of a brush. So what I do is literally just brush it right through. And this really makes them like disappear. I'm really impressed with this. Now it's time for powder blush. The first thing I use is the Juvia's Place blush volume 4. Very cool toned pinks, a dark one and a light one, and as you can see I use them both, or at least I used to. I used to go really crazy with the blush. I still like to do that sometimes, but recently I've just been like sort of toning it down. Not because of anything anyone said, okay? They say, oh, blush blindness. And you know what I have to say about that? F you. I do it on purpose, okay? But it's not because of those people, okay? I don't know. I just have been toning it down a bit. For myself. I would never change for anyone. So I take it on a Real Techniques blush brush. I just go like a tiny bit into the dark one. And I'll do this as kind of right above my contour. That's sort of like the base. Then I hit it with tried and true classic Milani Luminoso. This is literally the first blush I ever got. Literally, this same exact one. I have just recently begun to hit pan. I just go in with this as like a topper, and it acts as like sort of a highlighter as well because it has like gold little shimmer in it. I don't know if you can see it at all, but trust me, it's there. And then one thing you need to know about me is I love chin blush, and a lot of people tell me that I'm the first person they've ever seen do that, and I think that's awesome, but also not, because I think everyone should do it. So with like the leftovers, I just hit my chin just like that. I just think the face is like uneven if you don't do some chin blush. And also I'll take the leftovers as well and wipe away that like little bake or whatever. So I like to be very pink. Okay, I'm a blush girl. Next is eyeshadow. And before you do eyeshadow, you need a good base. This is my favorite eyeshadow base of all time. This is the Makeup of Murder Eye for an Eye base in the shade Hidden. I love this stuff. I do have a code with Makeup of Murder if you want a little bit of money off of basically the whole site, but that's not the reason that I'm saying that I love this, okay? This is my true and honest feelings. I'm obsessed with this. It's been like, I think almost exactly a year since I got this. I have barely made a dent in it. You just need the tiniest bit. This stuff is gonna last me for years, and I am already getting sad about the day that I run out of it. I'm not gonna do like crazy eyeshadow today, but I still like to use the eyeshadow base because if I don't use it, my eyes will crease no matter what. So I just take the tiniest amount of that on another Makeup of Murder Sketch Artist brush in M529. This is just like a flat brush. I'm gonna try to show you how much you actually need. Literally like that much for both eyes. I just put it all over the lid like so. Since I don't really have an eyebrow, I just like take it up to where my eyebrow would be. So then I just pack on a nude eyeshadow when I don't want to do eyeshadow. I've been using this little palette from Joy Bright. I think it's like the Ulta brand. And I just use a mix of this white one and this nude one and just like pack it right on. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Before I do anything else, I like to do highlighter, and I use the ColourPop Flexitarian Super Shock highlighter. This is really, really nice. It's like champagne sort of toned. Next is a little bit of eyeliner. The first one I use is the NYX Epic Smoky Liner, and I'm almost out of this. Teeny tiny little stub left. But I use this for tight lining. Like, can you tell a difference? I don't know. Next I use the NYX Epic Ink Liner in the shade black. Why was that so hard for me? When I don't do like a wing or like an inner corner wing, I just do like a tiny line. Just like that. I don't know. I think it looks nice. Just like a tiny line. You might think that's like sort of a millennial thing to do, but I don't care. I'll do eyeliner without a wing. Next is mascara, and I use the e.l.f. Lash Extender Mascara. I just like sort of recently started using this, and I really like it. It's a tubing mascara, which I've never tried before. And I really like it. It just like comes right off. Like, if you're like in high moisture situations, maybe don't use this because it comes off kind of easily, but for what I do, it's perfect. And I really worry about like my lash health, and in the past like couple years I've been noticing my lashes have been getting like just like kind of sparse, and I just don't like that. So I'm trying to prioritize my lash health these days. So this is really good for like an easy removal, and it's affordable too. This is like surprisingly cheap. Some e.l.f. products are still really cheap, and I really appreciate that. I really wish I just had like black lashes, but they're like kind of more blonde, so it's really hard for me to get like all the way down to the root of them, and it really bothers me. But it helps if I lean my head back like an obnoxious amount. So if I was actually going out, I would just leave the eyes like this. I don't like to wear lashes out. It's just like, it's too unpredictable, you know? They could just like start coming off, and that pisses me off, so I just don't do it. Also for the prioritizing my lash health thing. But for today I will. My favorite like natural ones are the Kiss lashes in Impress. And I use Kiss Aloe Lash Glue. This is the crustiest lash glue ever. I never usually let it get this bad. I'm not even gonna fully show you, but yeah, and I can't do it on camera, so. Alright, here's what they look like. Not very natural, so I don't really know, like, I like a dramatic lash, so basically this is natural to me, so yeah. But basically we have one more step, and that is the lips. So first I just take a Q-tip and I remove the lip balm. My absolute favorite liner right now is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Oh Snap. I don't know if you can tell, but she's getting really short. I use this almost every day. This is just a good like natural, my lips but better nude sort of shade for me, so. I've made it a bit dramatic today, but it is what it is. And my favorite lip product ever is the Lime Crime Plushies Liquid Lipstick in Turkish Delight. I'm obsessed with this stuff, but unfortunately, if you don't know, Lime Crime has discontinued all of their makeup, so I'm not sure if you can get this anymore, but I will just fill in the center with this. I like it because it's really lightweight, and it doesn't feel too gross on my lips. I'll just sort of try to blend it in. But then if I want gloss, I will use the Makeup of Murder Kiss of Death in Grave Queen. This is a lip oil. This tastes and smells fantastic, and yeah, this is really good for a gloss. I like this one because it's purple, so it's more cool toned. And with that, we're pretty much finished. And here is the final look. I was gonna put a wig on, but I decided not to. I'm embracing my crazy faded hair today. So this is the makeup that I do when I'm going somewhere, or this is the base for a cooler look to go on top. But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, like I said. Be sure to give the video a like, it helps me out a lot. I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!